Hi all. Uh, Today we'll be talking about the custom connector provided by Fivetran tool. So basically, I'm hoping that you'll be aware of the Fivetran tool. Uh, it's basically ingestion tool which brings out the data from some of the sources like Google Drive or Snowflake itself or Redshift or different kinds of connectors it is providing to some of the destinations like Snowflake S3. So here is the list. I have logged into the Fivetran. I have created a trial Fivetran account for myself. This is the first page. So you can see if I go into the destinations and add if I click on the add destinations, I can see the number of destinations that is available. So it can bring the data into S3, into Azure Data Lake, Snowflake, Databricks, Redshift, Amazon RDS, and all these destinations. It can bring out your data into, and these are the if I go to click on the add connectors. So connectors are something from where you can pull your data into the destination. So these are all the sources from where you can pull your data. So it has Google Sheets, Google add-ons, Facebook ads, Snowflake, everything is there you can see. So today we'll be talking about, these are the out of the box connector that Fivetran provides. But today we'll be talking about one of the feature of the Fivetran which allows us to create a custom connector where we can write a code and then bring out the data from the source for which Fivetran hasn't yet provided any out of the box connector. So like this is the list of connectors that Fivetran provides to us. So if you search here Redshift, it's not there. It means Fivetran does not provide any Redshift connector as of now from where you can simply pull the data just setting up the connector provided by Fivetran. So for that you have to create a custom connector, and once you create the custom connector for Redshift, you can pull the data from any of the table from the Redshift and put it into any destination provided by here. So the example I'm going to use is like I'll be using Redshift as a source for creating the custom connector, and we'll be putting the data into Snowflake. So the first thing that we should do is to create a AWS account. I hope that you have already created a AWS free trial account for you. And if that is the case, then you should log into your AWS account first. Then you should go into launch a Redshift cluster. So I'm going to launch a Redshift cluster as of now. So here is the create cluster option you can see. It's basically just telling the name of the cluster they wanted to provide. So you can provide your name over here, the cluster name. The node type, probably you'll select the DC to large, because this is the node that is included in the free trial of the AWS. So should select DC to large over here. It's just one node is needed for us for the demo purpose. You can click on the load of the sample data. You can give any name here, but for my cluster, I have given admin as a name. You can give your, you have to select this one. You can give your own password here, and you need to remember the password. I'll go for disable of the cluster encryption because it's just for the demo purpose. You can simply create your IAM role. So this IAM role probably you'll be having knowledge, but I'll tell you that this is just any entity that you are going to raise in the you are going to launch in the AWS. It will be having a role. So that role is will be actually for this entity that we are going to raise. So we are going to raise this cluster. So this role will be taken up by this cluster, and in this role, if you see here, it has trust relationships where Redshift is provided as the service, which means Redshift can take up this role, right? And if I go to the permissions tab of this role, so you'll be able to understand that after taking up this role by Redshift, what operations it will be able to perform. So if I open up this policy, so you can see here, these are all related to the SageMaker roles. I'm not going into it. So these are the roles that the Redshift can perform on the S3. So basically, you can see this Redshift role can do everything in the S3. So it can simply get the list of the objects, get the list of the buckets. It can put any object in the S3. It can create bucket as well, right? So these are all the permissions that role is having. Going back to the Redshift cluster. So it means the cluster which we are going to create over here, it can acquire that role and it can perform any operation in the S3. So after selecting this default role, or if you are doing first time, it may happen that you don't see any role over here. You can simply create IAM role, right? And just once that role is getting created, you do not need to do anything else. You just create that IAM role. A role will be appearing here. You can just select that one over here, and then you need to simply create the cluster. So I'll not create it anymore because I have already created one. So this is the cluster that I have created for my demo purpose. So if I open up the cluster over here, you can see that I have selected the DC to large instance that I have told you already. Right. Then you have to make this cluster as public so that Fivetran can access this cluster. So you have to edit it. And under this network and security, here you can see publicly accessible. You have to turn this on, this one. Then you have to make save changes, right? So you need to make save changes after turning this on. All these things I have already done, so I'm not going to do it again. Okay. So once that is done, just click on the cluster again. You need to go to the properties. So you can see that here is the database name. By default, it has created one database for us. The name of the database is Deb. Its port is 5439. We have given the admin username as admin. So another thing that you need to set up is you have to go to the security group of this. So you can see here we have just clicked on the Redshift cluster. Then we went to the properties tab here, and then in the VPC security group. So every cluster that you are going to launch, it's a AWS property. It should go into a VPC. It's a virtual private cloud. For AWS, it has a security group. Security group is nothing but a firewall kind of thing. So once you go to the security group of this one and you open up this security group, it has some inbound rules as well. So in the security group, you have to edit the inbound rule. You have to add the rule, and if you see here, just search for Redshift. There it is, right? And once you select the Redshift, the port number will automatically appear here. You need to add this rule over there, right? So you can see I have already added this rule here. So I'm not going to add it anymore again. I'll delete this one. So these two changes you need to make after launching the Redshift cluster. So the first change is I'm just repeating for the sake of understanding. So the first change is you have to go into the Redshift cluster. Okay, then you have to edit. Then you have to go to network and security. Here you have to turn on the publicly accessible, and then you have to save the changes, right? The next thing you need to do is again you have to open up the cluster. You have to go to the properties tab, right? And then you have to go to the security group of the VPC to open up the security group, and then you have to add the inbound rules, and you have to add a rule for Redshift. So you can see here 5439 is automatically appearing, which is nothing but the port number for Redshift. So you are allowing actually the Redshift port into this VPC, right? So yeah, this is the configuration for the Redshift that we need to do. Okay, so the next configuration you need to do is you have to create a Snowflake account, right? So you have to create a free Snowflake account here. So it's a 30 days trial period that will be provided. Why you need a Snowflake? Because this demo will actually load the data from Redshift to Snowflake with the help of Fivetran, right? With the help of Fivetran, we are going to load the data from Redshift to Snowflake, right? And we'll be using a custom connector for loading this data. So once you set up your Redshift and you are done with your Snowflake setup as well, you have to simply create a login account in Snowflake, login trial account, which will give you a trial days for 30 number of days. So once you set up that one, you have to go to a Fivetran that you have just created. So you have to go to the destinations, add a destination over here. So what destination we are going to create? What is our destination? Our destination is nothing but the Snowflake. We are going to load the data from Redshift to Snowflake. So you have to create a destination here. So you can name that destination. So I'll give this one. Or Snowflake data. Sorry. So yep, you can see here. These are all details you need to provide for creating a destination for Fivetran in Snowflake. So this is the host name they are asking for, right? So it is nothing but the host of your Snowflake account. That will be you can copy it from here. You go to your Snowflake account. You just need to go to this account symbol. Then here, just copy this account URL. So this account URL is copied as of now. So you have to go to Fivetran account. Just paste it here. You need to remove this one, right? Port is already 443. This is Fivetran user, leave it as it is. This is Fivetran database. Authentication is password based authentication, you can give your password here. This role and database, right? And the username, uh, database name, and the role. These are all the things. If you see here in the right side, it is asking for the prerequisites that needs to be done before making a Snowflake as your destination. So just do nothing. It's already given a run script in the Snowflake warehouse. You just need to copy it, and you need to go to the Snowflake to create one SQL worksheet over here. Simply paste it. If you see here, it is saying Fivetran user. So the username is Fivetran user, role is Fivetran role, password is this Fivetran warehouse and Fivetran database. So accordingly, you have to make your amendments here. So I'll just make the amendments here. It's a Fivetran. I'll give the name as Fivetran DB. I'll give the name as Fivetran warehouse. Password, I'll leave it as it is. Fivetran user, I'll leave it as it is. I'll give the role as or yeah, Fivetran RL. I'll give the name as Fivetran UR as a user, and leave the password as it is. Why it is turning up all the things? Yeah, this is it. I just forgot to give this one. Yeah. So yes. So all the details actually I'm having at this moment. So I have just taken the first letter of the role user warehouse ID. Hope that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I'm going to all of them execute it one by one, not one by one. You have to just control and select all of the scripts together, just execute it. So it has been successfully executed. So what are the role users you have given here? So all the things that needs to be provided here as well. So if you remember, we have given the name as Fivetran D as a database. For user, we have given as a U. For role, we have given it as a Fivetran. And password, what password we have given here? It's password 123, which is fine. We can copy it, and then we can simply paste it here. Right? I'm in India, so I can select this one. I can select AWS as well, right? And then we simply save and test. So you can see here this destination Snowflake data has been created. It's connected, you can see. So right, this all the details has been created. Now once you created the destination, it means your destination is ready now. So this is the place, this is the database where you are going to put your data, and the source of the data is going to be a Redshift. So from here we can from Fivetran now we can create a connector, add a connector, so that uh, should we search Redshift? Oh, Redshift is not there, right? So had it been Amazon RDS, see, for Amazon RDS, for MariaDB, for SQL Server, Postgres, these all three we can connect to easily with the help of so it is if you see here, it is asking the details of the Amazon RDS here. I'm just trying to show example. Had it been a connector is provided here for the Redshift, how it would have been looked like. So as the connector for the Amazon RDS is provided, so it's quite simple, like just providing the details of the host, port, and users and all, and your connector will be ready. But here you can see here there is no option for giving the connector as a Redshift. So that is the need of a custom connector that we are going to create, where with the help of a Python code we'll create that connector in a Python Visual Studio, and then we'll deploy that connector into this Fivetran environment, and then we'll use that connector, custom connector, to bring the data into this Snowflake area. Hope I'm making some sense here. So to prepare the code for that custom connector, you need to install the Python in your system, right? So I have created actually a document. So Fivetran says that the Python version that Fivetran supports is something between 3.9 and 3.11. So you can simply install Python in your local machine, but please make a note that it has to be between 3.9 to 3.11 as a version, right? I hope you are aware of that uh, installing of the Python process. You can simply install pip install Python, and you can press enter. It will work. The next thing, I think, yeah. Oh, sorry. I think P3 install Python. What happened? I think Python is already installed in my system. Well, yeah, that is why all this Python is already installed in my system. So you can install Python in your system as well. The second thing you need to install is Redshift connector. So you can also it's actually installed in my system. So again, you can install the p3 install Redshift connector. So you can see it's saying that requirement is already satisfied because Redshift connector is already installed in my system. So this Redshift connector is nothing but a library provided by Python through which we can connect the Redshift environment. Right. So yeah, so we have already Redshift connector installed in my system. So that's why it is us saying that requirement is already satisfied. So once you do pip install, so it will be installed in your system. So these two things you need to install: Python version between 3.9 to 3.11 and this Redshift connector version. Another so let me go back to the Redshift console. So this is the Redshift console here. You can go to the properties, and as I told earlier, we have already launched one. It's by default they have launched one dev database for you, right? So if I query this data, yeah. So here is the Redshift cluster. Here is the dev database, sample dev database that they have launched for you. If you open up this one, they have created some test data for you as well. So total number of tables will be 7. So I have created one more extra table, that is product. So this will not be there for you. So this 7 tables will be provided: category, date, event listing, sales, users, and venue. So we'll be using this sales table actually. So whatever the data is provided in this sales table, if you see, we'll use this sales table. Right. So let me this sales. So there you go. Number of data is provided here for you. So these are all the data that we are going to pull from Redshift into Snowflake with the help of custom connector. So this is the source of our data, right? So uh, we have created till now a destination into the Snowflake, and when we are going to create a connector for this Redshift, we saw that there is no out of the box connector for Redshift is present. That's why the need of custom connector. Right? So this is the configuration part till now. that we have spoken. Uh, so you need AWS account. You have to launch a cluster for Redshift. You need a Snowflake account as well, and you have to configure the database of Snowflake for Fivetran, like what we did in this video earlier. And you need to install Python. You need to install Redshift connector as well in your system. So all these things are steps you need to follow actually uh, before we are going to start with the custom connector in the next video. Thank you. We'll continue this part of creating custom connector in the next video. Thanks.